K100 with Tony and the Disco is brought to you by BetOnline. BetOnline is your #1 source for the NBA and the NHL playoffs this season. Every stat, every matchup, and even live odds while the games are being played. When the game's over, head on over to our online casino and get in on a game of blackjack or poker, or unwind with one of our over 150 slots games. Head to the website today to get in on the action. Don't forget to use the promo code BELIEVE, that's BLEAD, for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline. The game starts here.
Now, let me ask you another question. How did you get into WWE? Who called you? Because it also says here that you were in a feud with the Headbangers in the first wrestling match. The Headbangers were stiff and throwing real punches, and so they took you out of that program. What happened there?
Well, here's what's crazy. When the WWF called us, right, they were like, yeah, we got this team called the Human Oddities.
Right. I love the Human Oddities, by the way.
Yeah, they were like, we want we want you guys to make the ring music. We were like, do you know we wrestle?
Yeah,
and they were like, what do you mean? And we're like, man, I was a wrestler. Joey too. We wrestle. And so they flew us out to Stanford, and we wrestled Tom Pritchard. You know what I mean? And filmed it for Vince McMahon. Next thing you know, we're debuting at SummerSlam.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
That's huge.
Summer at the Garden.
Right.
At the
That's
Garden.
huge. Yeah.
And for the time, and I say this all the time, but it's worth saying a million times in case anybody hears it for the first time. For the time I was 12 and Joey was probably 10, we knew we were going to be wrestlers, man. It wasn't a dream or a goal or a want or a hope. It was a fact. Like, there was no question about it. We knew it. I used to tell them, get my autograph now, because you're not going to be able to later. You're going to be bragging you went to school with me. You might as well get it now. Like, we knew it. Now, when I turned 19 and Joey was 17, hip-hop overtook that passion. You know what I mean?
Right.
So we had to face that reality that we were going to do this. We wanted this more now, you know? But by the time I was 26 and Joey was 24, that dream, because we already had put that energy into it, it came back for us. Yeah. It was like, do you still want this?
Right.
I mean, what's the chances of that, you know?
Yeah, you willed it into existence.
Yeah. It willed itself, exactly, because we knew it all those years, and that's the laws of attraction, or the secret, they call it, you know? We knew that, though. That's the difference. If you hope and wish and pray, that means you have doubt in you. You know what I'm saying? We knew. And that was like, bing, do you want this? So we're like, yeah. So we start doing Monday Night Raw. And back then, they used to do one live and then film the next one. And then you'd be off for 2 weeks. You know what I mean?
Now that dressing was very jealous. Did you have any problems with the other wrestlers? And what happened with the Headbangers?
Conan, check this out. The day we got there, we just told Vince Russo, we need to paint up. This is Madison Square Garden.
Right.
And we're like, we need to paint up, right? You know why they took us, bro?
No.
They took us into a room. The only two people behind us, 5 feet behind us, sitting on a bench. And here's me and Joey painting up in the mirror. The only two behind us were Stone Cold and Undertaker going over their main event. Right? So listen, I wanted to scream for them.
Right.
I wanted to say, get these clowns the
Sure.
Right. The doors weren't even open yet in the building. Just tell me that's the only place we can paint up. Right. You know what I'm saying? I was offended for them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Do you know the
cry? But
do you know the story of that match?
Do
you know the story of that match?
Of Stone Cold
said it's one of the worst matches he's ever had. Him and Undertaker they hated it. Like, you see, like they did like the documentary stuff. They couldn't. They said it bombed. They said,
because Austin got concussed like 3 minutes into it.
Right, maybe.
Oh man. They were going over the spots, and we're painting up, and it was the most awkward. It was painful. It was so awkward. You know what I mean? I just wanted
on TV and it bombed.
But were you getting any problems or any heat from other wrestlers that were wondering who are these guys and why are they here?
We were getting heat, but we didn't know it, okay? Like, we were bringing boxes of swag every week. I mean, every other week. We were bringing boxes, just giving them out. There's a shirt that it's legendary in the Juggalo world. It's The Rock wearing one of our jerseys, you know,
Right.
and like, but we didn't know we had a problem. Here's where the problem came, and this is what really sucks, man, because I don't like it when adults lie. Maybe they're just remembering it wrong, but here's what happened. So we were there for like 2, maybe 3 months, right? And we started to say, look, man, we're getting all this exposure and it's awesome, but we're missing our 2 of our concerts, actually 4 of our shows a month, you know, and we're not, they were giving us like $2,000 or something to come there, you know?
Right.
And we were like, we're getting all this exposure, but these fans think we're a wrestling gimmick. They don't know we actually have product in the stores. They don't know we're actually musicians, you know? So we kept telling Russo, just air this 30-second commercial on your thing. And if we need to change anything, like if we can't say available at Coconuts Records or something, we'll change anything about the commercial. You know what I mean? But we want this commercial aired. So every week he was like, for sure it's going to air this week. It's going to air this week. Week after week after week after week, it wouldn't air, you know? And we're like, what's the deal, you know? So finally we got to the last time we were there, and we did the live. I took a stunner that night from Stone Cold, and we got to the venue the next day, and our manager was like, man, they didn't air last night, just leave. And we finally walked out. But I want to tell you about what happened with the Headbangers. So we were doing this thing with the Headbangers. They get in the ring, and they call us out, right? And we had it worked out where me and Joey were supposed to do this thing where they meet us on the aisle, and they're on top of us. And at the same time, me and Joey flip them over and start banging on them, you know, try to get like a pop. We were supposed to do it simultaneously. Man, we met in that hallway, in the aisle. They were not moving. We went to turn them over. They beat us, man. I legit almost pants, like that close to legit pants. You know you're getting spanked when you almost pants, you know what I'm saying? And they were on us. And when they came back afterward, they came in our dressing room, they were like, everything cool. We were like, great, you know? But they knew what happened. Now, on a podcast, I saw one of them, Masha Thrash, telling a story. He was like, the reason that happened was they were on their way out. They were demanding more money, and Russo told us, go out there and beat. First of all, that ain't true, because we didn't leave that night. We ended up joining the Headbangers a couple weeks later.
Right.
And we ended up working with them. So how that makes sense? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It doesn't make any sense. We were. It sounds good, but we were not leaving. You know what I mean? We stayed with them.
Vince Russo's the type of guy that would probably
Mike,
like your
go to Mike.
I think Vince is the type of guy that Russo, and it seemed like McMahon liked it, but Russo seemed like that's the type of gimmick he would like, because he liked to, like, remember the Whack Pack from?
Yeah.
Like he liked, yeah.
And you know what's funny is even though we broke the cardinal rule, we walked out the side of the door of the arena.
Right.
We just walked out. You know what I'm saying? We were painted up and everything. And when we later got to WCW, Russo wasn't there yet. There was a year between our runs in WCW. When we went back to WCW, Russo was there. And you know what? There wasn't no heat, because he knew he was leading us on. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
He never was like, no, I don't trust them. I'm not working with them. They walked out on me. It wasn't like that.
Right.
You know, because he knew that he was being untruthful.
I just remember the main thing, because when I saw you guys, like, I would say half the locker room or more, we were like, if these guys in any way have an ego or they're disrespectful, that was my mentality. Bro, and you were nothing but professional and respectful. So there was no way.
Man, that's your house. That's your guys' house.
Yeah.
We were honored to be there. We didn't know how to show our gratitude. You know what I'm saying? We love wrestling so much, and it was our first love, you know, but we didn't know. We understood the heat. I mean, of course.
Right.
Who are these rappers beating these actual wrestlers? You know what I'm saying? Like, we totally got it, you know? But we, at the same time, we felt that we had a role, because ICP is as pro wrestling as anything else. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
This sounds like gimmick. You know what I'm saying?
What's up? I just want to thank you guys for watching this clip. Don't forget to hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And join our YouTube membership for hours and hours of exclusive, unedited uncensored content, and being a member will help you get involved in our upcoming live streams. Thank you for your support. Thank you for riding with us. I know you got a lot of other podcast choices, be it wrestling or other ones, and thank you for picking us. Boom.